Wamdu fi sabilillah, say Bismillah and follow me. And he went off and they saw the horse go across the water without sinking. These were confirmed karamat of these people. Now some people say, why don't these things happen anymore? Well, look at us. That's all you need to. That's the only answer you need. Trust me, the Christians, their message spread by healing. If you study the early Christians, and those are mutawatir. They would come to places, people would have leprosy, they would just do laying on the hands, and people would be healed. Many, many people, so that's how it spread. So karamat are the way religions initially spread, because it convinces people. Once it's established, the karamat are not as necessary, but there's still karamat amongst the awliya. And alhamdulillah, the people of Allah, there's karamat. I mean, I've seen from some of my teachers amazing things. There's kashf, what's called kashf, which is an unveiling. I mean, I saw unveilings from Marabt al-Hajj on more than one occasion. Clear, undeniable for me. And other people. There's a man in Jeddah right now staying at Sheikh Abdullah bin Bayah's house. I mean, I'll tell you one story. This is a true story because I witnessed it. His name is Muhammad Yahya al-Khatti. His son is Yahya. And he's the first person that told me about Marabt al-Hajj. And he told me about his father. And his father is known for this karamat. Very unusual man. But I was in Giru, which is a little village nearby Kifa. And I'd never been to Kifa before, and they asked me if I wanted to go to Kifa. And I said, there's only one reason I want to go. I'd like to see this man, Yahya al-Khatti. And they said, no, he lives in the desert outside, and we don't have time to go there. And anyway, they convinced me to go just for the trip, just to see Kifa. So I went. Now, this was before cell phones, and there was no electricity. None. There were no telephones, nothing. So we got to Kifa, and they had to get some photographs. And we were in the middle of the town, and there was probably about 5 or 6 of us. And this man comes up, breaks into our little circle. We were talking, takes my hand and says, Yahsul al-khair, like good things happen. And then he said, Salam alaikum. And then he just left. And they all started laughing. And I said, well, what was that? They said, that's Muhammad Yahya al-Khatti. That's the man you wanted to see. So, I mean, I saw that myself. And that's طَلٌ يعني قبل وابل. I mean, that's just... So these people, there were a lot of miraculous things happen around these people. I mean, Ma'bad, when the Prophet ﷺ got to Ma'bad, she didn't have any food, and the Prophet ﷺ said, do you have anything? She said, Wallahi, if I had something, I would feed. She was Bedouin lady. She said, if I had something, I would give it to you. She said, we're in bad conditions. He said, bring the sha. And she came, and she said he touched the sha, and she saw the flesh fill. And then he touched the udder, and it filled with milk. And then she said when the Prophet did wudu, the place he did wudu, there's a tree in that area, and it's still there, the tree is there. Sheikh Abdullah al-Qadi, but it's dry, it's huge tree, it's dry. She said the tree that grew from the place he did wudu, she said they called it al-Mubarakah, the blessed tree. She said nobody ate from the fruit except they were quenched, their thirst and their hunger, and if they were sick, they got well. And she said it was beautiful and more green and luscious than any tree that they had seen. And she said one day they woke up and it was dry. And she said she knew the Prophet ﷺ had died. And that was the day that he died. That's Ma'bad. So the miracles of the Christian, the early Christian, they were real miracles. I mean, I read about they have in Catholicism and Orthodox tradition, it's actually a condition for beatification that your body doesn't corrupt, which we believe that also, that bodies don't, لا تأكلوا لا تأكل الأرض أجساد الأولياء. The earth does not eat the bodies of the real saints, sanctified beings. I mean, there's awliya that are good people, salihun, but the sanctified beings, people in a state of sanctification, the earth doesn't eat their and the hafidh of Quran, it doesn't, but it's not hafidh like somebody that just can recite the Quran from beginning to end. It's the one that lives the Quran. Because the real meaning of hafidh is not just to know the letters, but to actually yahmal al-Quran. He's hamid al-Quran. It lives by it. So but they did a study of the bodies in the Vatican, because in the catacombs they have all these bodies that are in a state of complete preservation. And this was Discovery Magazine did an article on this, because they allowed the scientists to go in. Some of these bodies had been mummified through the process that they do, tahniq, the Arabs call it. And those were often the popes would do that, just to like a little insurance policy, so hoping they'd get sanctification, just in case they were going to rot. They had them mummify them. But there were several that, and one of them was a pre-Islamic. She's a patron saint of prostitute. She was a prostitute that made tawbah, pre-Islamic lady. One of the scientists said, I was in awe to look at this woman in perfect preservation. And he said, they explain it by the moisture, and they're in these catacombs and it preserves the body. That's how, but that's real. Here, many times, the grave diggers here, when they dig the thing, they find bodies in perfect thing. I know Sheikh Mahmoud al-Sawaf, one of the scholars from Iraq, who came and during the flood where Sayyidina Hamza's body was exposed, he saw, and I heard this eyewitness, and this is a man I have no reason to doubt his veracity, because he's one of the ulama. He was in Medina and brought in to rebury the body of Hamza, and he saw the body was undefiled and uncorrupted. Sayyidina Hamza radiallahu anhu. So, and also the musk scent that comes out of many of the graves, I've smelt it in several different places. It's real. So these are all signs for people that are open to them. If you're not open to them, Allah veils you from them. As simple as that. You have to be open to the unseen to experience the unseen. There's people that, every time we've gone to Maymuna, people come to me, is that scent? Does somebody put that there? I was like, no. Every time I've gone there, it's there. So, somebody's going to go there and dump thing, and it doesn't come. It comes only after Maghrib. It's not in the daytime. It's only in the nighttime. So the same with the cave of the Prophet ﷺ. If you go into the cave, anybody that's ever been there, whew, the scent that you get when you first go in is just, and it's been recorded in books for centuries. Some perfumer's making a lot of money, I guess, Go up there every night. So it's good to believe in the karamat and not to deny them. So that's Safina. Anjasha is another, he was the hadi of the Prophet. The hadi is somebody yahdu al-ibal. The Arabs say that if you sing to the camel, some say it's from iz'aj, that the camel is bothered by it. He wants to get, but the dominant view is that it's actually, it spurs him on out of desire. And the reason the rajas, usually they sing rajas because the rajas imitates the movement of the camel. Mustaf'idun, 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 mustaf'idun. That beat or rhythm of the rajas bahar, that's the meter of rajas, that it imitates the movement of the camel. And so the hadi is the one who sings. Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah rahimahullah has a very nice title for one of his books, Hadi al-Arwah ila Bilad al-Afrah. The hadi, the singer to the souls, spurring them on. It's much better in Arabic, I apologize. Spurring them on to the land of joys, of infinite joys. So hadi al-arwah, and that's why traditionally the inshad was something that was encouraged. Anjasha was one of the munshidun. He used to sing for the Prophet. Once he was singing and his voice was very beautiful, كان يشنف, and he had a beautiful voice. And the Prophet ﷺ said, in one riwayah, وَيْحَكَ يَا أَنْجَشَا, and in another he said, يَا أَنْجَشَا رُوَيْدًا